We welcome you in today's episode on the undergraduate program in Tourism and Travel Management. Tourism being one of the largest growing sector in India and all over the world, and to discuss the issues and scope related to this industry, we have with us Professor Dr. Nimit Chaudhary, Department of Tourism and Travel Management, Jamia Millia Islamia. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
We also have with us Mr. R.K. Suman, sir, Deputy Director General, Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
To begin with this session, let me put forth the first point. Sir, why do you think that we need tourism management as a program to study for the undergraduate program?
Look, tourism of late, as you understand, is gaining importance. Across the world, a lot of countries are now depending on tourism, which has become an important contributor to their economies, and to be efficient with these economies so that countries do well on one hand, and the visitors have a good experience at the destination. It is very important that we have courses on tourism management.
Government is making a lot of effort to promote tourism in India. What are the efforts that the Ministry of Tourism is making to promote tourism in India?
Well, thank you, Rohan. The tourism remains the major economic driver in the world. If you see, directly or indirectly, 9% of the GDP comes from the tourism sector in the world. We are doing very well in the job creation. We are doing very well in the field of foreign receipts. So, the industry per se is growing very well, and of course, Ministry of Tourism as a major driver for the promotion of tourism abroad as well as domestic, we are doing very well. We have done a lot of initiatives and lot of things going on in the tourism sector that we can discuss later part also. But I can say that in recent past, the tourism industry has done very well, and especially the foreign tourist arrivals, the numbers have been very encouraging.
Rohan, if I can add to what Mr. Suman has been saying, if you look at governments around the world, at all levels, national governments, state governments, local governments, all of them have shown keen interest in tourism. And there is a reason to this. Specifically speaking, tourism contributes, there is a twofold contribution of tourism. One, as Suman Saab rightly pointed out, there is a lot of revenue that tourism generates, but other thing which is of lot of interest for the governments and for the communities and for the countries for that matter is that tourism is a huge leveler. Look at the way tourism is carried out at any destination. Tourists come to a destination and then they get distributed all over the destinations, they travel around the destinations, and as they travel around, they keep on spending money. Now, what happens in the process is that no single unit, no single person gets money. Money gets distributed. A tourist hires a taxi, so he pays for that. He goes to a restaurant, he pays something. Next time he goes to another restaurant, he pays there. He goes to a monument, buys a ticket, monument authorities get some money, they hire a guide. Look at the way tourism money is distributed. Now, the advantage is, and this is what most of the governments have been looking forward to. If you talk of most of the other sectors in the industry, money gets concentrated. The huge capitalists would come in, they will create factories, and then they definitely generate wealth, but that wealth is largely concentrated. In case of tourism, it becomes it gets distributed, and that is the interest of all the governments. And today around the world, even within India, every state government has tourism as one of its priorities. So that's the kind of importance tourism is, that is associated to tourism.
Which brings me to the next question, sir. What are the special initiatives or the activities which the government is taking to attract the international tourists to this country?
Well, the government is doing a lot of efforts. As you talked about the international tourist, to feel the international tourist should feel secure and safe in the country. So for that, the Ministry of Tourism had launched the 24-hour info line, tourist info line, and that is available in 12 international languages. So that info line, any foreign tourist or even domestic tourist can contact in any emergency or any situation, and that information will be given to him, or if any problem or any suggestions that can be taken care of and can be forwarded to other ministry. Other than that, we have done lot of changes in the e-tourist visa. Actually, the e-tourist visa has been the game changer for foreign tourists. Earlier, the foreigner has to apply for the visa, they have to go to embassies and consulate and submit their passport for 5 days, and so this became the cumbersome process, but now it has become so easy. They can apply from their home, from their laptop, they will pay the fee and they will get a visa confirmation and they can fly to India. And this has been extended to 162 countries now, and there have been a continuous liberalization in this field. Now they can come for multiple entry. Earlier it was restricted to 1 and the latter it became 2. Now it has been extended to up to even 1 year, case to case. Even the visa on arrival have been extended to Japan and Korea. So lot of things has happened in this field also, and of course there are various other initiative also government is taking time to time to encourage the foreign tourists to India.
To what Suman Saab is pointing out, I would also like to bring to the table a few things. Look, what is tourism? Tourism is all about a tourist's experience. A person decides to travel to a destination, he gets to the destination, and if you look at a competitive, tourism as a competitive business, his or her experience has to be superlative. They must enjoy at the destination. So what Government of India does, because as a still developing country, government has a very, very important role to play. So what Government of India does as a part of its strategy is to help create superior experiences for the visitors when they come to India. When a person comes to India, he or she gets in touch with animate and inanimate elements, a guide, a cab driver, immigration officers, monuments, they have to make use of infrastructure. And what Government of India does, it is trying to ensure, at least it is trying to help ensure that every time a tourist visits India, gets in touch with someone or something which we technically called a service encounter, there has to be a superior experience that is created. Now Government of India is perhaps one of the few governments around the world who make a lot of effort in helping create these experiences. So Government of India supports a lot of training programs, immigration officers, taxiwalas, cabwalas, anywhere and everywhere a state government can come up with an idea that okay, we have this kind of tourism. Say for example, a government says that we have temples and a lot of visitors tend to come to temple, and these priests at the temples need to be sensitized, or outside a monument there are small shopkeepers who have come up with small artifacts or some food outlets or something. So they need to keep their place clean, they need to be trained how to manage these things. So Government of India also support all kind of service providers, improve their services, and in turn create a better experience for the visitors. So that is one of the important roles that Government of India is playing very, very aggressively. and that has really helped Indian tourism, which is growing almost at a rate of 7% per annum. So that's good about Indian tourism.
It seems like government is doing a lot of efforts. They are undergoing a lot of initiatives and activities, and a lot has also been happening between the stakeholders. So why do you think that we as a student should undergo this program at the undergraduate level?
Look, as I said, the central point or the key thing in this entire business of transaction of tourism is the experience of the visitor. Government is doing its bit, but then there has to be a lot of private players who would come and create products and services for the tourist, who would actually have to take upon themselves the responsibility of reaching out to the potential markets, attracting them, making good offers to them. Okay, say for example, one of the good products that we have here in North India is the Golden Triangle. So you need a company which say for example reaches out to a German market or to a Latin American market or to a East Asian market in some city in say for example Japan. There has to be someone who reaches out to a potential tourist and say, look, India is a potential destination, why don't you plan to travel to India? And in case you plan to travel to India, these are the facilities that we are going to offer to you. Now look, if Indian tourism is growing at a rate of 7%, look at the amount of services that need to be created, the amount of support that needs to be in place to help these growing number of tourists. Suman Saab would help us with the numbers of tourists that are coming to India, the international tourists coming to India, the numbers of tourists who is visiting places within India. But for all these visitors, they need some kind of a support. And a lot of companies must come in. There has to be a hotel provider, there needs to be a local transporter, there need to be a company called travel agent or tour operator who needs to organize all these things. Then there need to be someone to take care of activities like an adventure sports activity or a cultural event or something. So there are number of subsectors within the ambit of the larger tourism industry, and all these industries would require human resource to man their activities. And to be competitive as a destination, we need to be very good with our services. How do we become very good? When we have trained human resource, when we have trained people who can take up responsibilities as part of these companies. We also need a lot of trained people and daring people who can become entrepreneurs and create new products and services, and that is precisely where we need to put together courses on tourism. Tourism today is a very, very creative industry. So you need all kind of creative people, trained for skills, trained for analytical things, so that they can take responsibilities and offer superior services to the customers, visitors, tourists, whatever you want to call them.
As you were talking about the increase in numbers when it comes to foreign tourist arrival, and the sir was also adding few points about the demand that the international tourist is having for India. What are these numbers that we have been seeing as an increase?
Well, if we talk about the foreign tourist arrival to India, India received 10.4 billion foreign tourists in 2017. That was increase of 14% if compared to year 2016. But if we take the international tourist arrival, that includes the overseas citizen of India, that you can call it a NRI, that number is coming 15 million. So that numbers are very encouraging, and we are in 26th position now in the foreign tourist arrival in the world. And most importantly, I would like to add that we are 13th in foreign tourist receipt, because we are earning more by foreign tourist arrival. The reason being that when the foreign tourist arrives to India, we have a lot of destination and lot of things to offer to them. So the stay of the foreign tourist is longer in India, and that is the reason we are very well in foreign receipts. If I talk about Asia, we are 7th in the foreign tourist arrival in India.
If I just wanted to add a small thing, that he said that we are ranked 13th in terms of foreign receipts. You must also understand that if this is adjusted for the purchasing power parity, this is a very good figure. So, a lot of money is coming to India, which has actually resulted into almost 43 million tourism related job in 2017, which is almost roughly 8% of our total employment in the country. It also accounts for around 9.1% of the GDP, as he already mentioned in the earlier part of the discussion. So, these figures are actually very encouraging. When you have a significant part of your economy, which is like kind of related or dependent on tourism, you can always estimate the kind of opportunities that this sector holds for the young people in this country.
There has been a lot of growth when it comes to tourism as an industry. Tourism is one of the major contributing sector in the GDP of this nation. What do you think that the youth should embody as a special skill set when it comes to serve in this industry?
Rohan, you must understand that tourism is not one thing. Tourism is many things. Tourism is a lifestyle product. People from all over the world come to participate in the way we live. So, everyone has a different expectation, everyone has his own way of consuming tourism, and at those points where tourism is being consumed, you need servers, you need people who need to deliver those products. So, I will not say that there is just one kind of a skill, but yes, what is very important, one of the important skills is the interpersonal skills. Tourism is generally believed to be a contact intensive industry. A tourist or a traveler or a visitor comes and he generally gets in contact with the locals and a local service provider. And how good tourism was is actually dependent on the kind of experience that is created during the interaction with these individuals. And as I said earlier, part of this discussion, that this is precisely where Government of India is putting a lot of efforts. Government pumping a lot of money to train these people who are touch points to the visitors. A tourist can travel anywhere in India, meet any kind of people, and look at the kind of effort government is putting in. They are saying that whatever be the kind of people, we are still ready and willing to support a quality experience for the visitor. So, interpersonal skill is one skill which is very important, but then if you look at the state of competitiveness in tourism, a destination needs to be really creative, and we also need to have creative individuals to contribute to tourism. So, creativity, innovation, interpersonal skills, and then of course, the trade related skills are very important for individuals.
When it comes to teaching and training, what are the special programs or the courses that Department of Tourism and Hospitality Management, as you are heading it, in Jamia Millia Islamia is offering to the students?
Interesting thing, Rohan. You need to understand a few things, that the tourism effort in Jamia Millia Islamia is not really a very old thing. We are relatively new, but in spite of that, there are a few things that I would like to point out. Jamia Millia Islamia is 12th ranked university in NIRF ratings, which means there are 11 universities ahead of us. None of these 11 universities have a tourism program. So, we are the highest ranked Indian public university which has a tourism and travel program. Number 2, we are the only public university in the entire NCR region. NCR region is also the seat of tourism business in this country. A huge proportion of tourism economy is driven by companies which are located in this region. And third, that given this kind of responsibility that we have, the expectations that this university and this department has, we try to cater to a range of human resource needs of the industry and the sector, which makes us one of the most comprehensive tourism schools in South Asia. As of now, department plans or And the coming semester, department would be offering almost 14 different types of programs, ranging from a PhD doctoral program, which actually looks forward to creating researchers and people who can think and talk about tourism at one end, to some certificate level programs, and even programs with support of Ministry of Tourism, which are called Hunar Se Rozgar Tak programs, which are programs targeted at people who drop out of a school at, say, class 8 level, 10 level, 12 level. So, we are reaching out to that kind of audience at the other end of the spectrum, bring them into the university, train them for, say, 2 months, 3 months, and we have very good kind of connect with the industry and get these youngsters placed in the industry. So, there are a lot of programs. We have master's program in tourism and hospitality, we have undergraduate programs, we have diploma programs, we have certificate programs in things like tour guiding, ticketing, tour management, wellness and health, tourism management. So, there are a range of things that we offer, and a lot of options for the youngsters to choose from and probably have a career in the sector.
As there is a sharp increase in the tourist arrival, which you have been saying in the earlier part of the session, who are these tourists, where are they coming from, and what are these special efforts and initiatives that the Ministry of Tourism in India is taking?
Well, the Government of India is promoting tourism abroad very well. We get a large number of tourists from America, UK and European countries, as well as we get a very good numbers from ASEAN countries also. Even the Malaysia contributes around 3 lakh tourists per year. Even the Thailand, Singapore, these are giving very good numbers. Being in government, I have served in the Ministry of Tourism in Singapore office, and I used to promote a lot in that sector. We used to do road shows, seminar, participation in international events, and that has increased the numbers, and that is done all over India. If I talk about specific sectors, we are now promoting special tourism products like medical tourism. We are promoting golf tourism, adventure tourism, because see, nowadays the tourist needs some special creativity, adventures, and India has everything to offer. We have a big coastal line. So, now you might have heard that now the big Costa Cruise and Caribbean cruise has started coming to India in Mumbai and Goa. This sector has started. So, we are now utilizing the untapped sector of tourism, and that is going to give a very good increase in the tourism sector.
If I should only add to what Suman Saab is saying, if you go back in history, it was almost around 2002-2003 that Ministry of Tourism, Government of India decided to put together the effort in the form of a campaign, and that is where we actually created this Incredible India campaign. This was 2002-2003. The share of Indian tourism then at that point of time was around 0.34%, which is now almost crossed 1%, which is a significant increase in the numbers. When we talk about Incredible India, we are basically trying to go around the world, as Suman Saab said, and create a lot of noise about India and its tourism products. And the original thought was that we're going to tell people that India is incredible, so come and visit India. And people are definitely going to ask us that why is India incredible. So, there were certain values that we identified and focused all through these 17-18 years of this campaign. There are actually 3 things that we initially focused. One was the diversity. Second was spiritualism. Indian spiritualism, which can be extended into wellness and Ayurveda, yoga, and the kind of equity that we are putting to yoga and all those things. Diversity, the cultural diversity, I mean, I don't have to describe it all over, but that is another thing that attracts. And the third thing was adventure. As he mentioned that we have a huge coastline. We have all kind of geographical terrains available in India, from hills to deserts to plains to rivers, coastlines, sub-zero, Siachen and Kargil kind of things, which is a huge potential for adventure based activities. And tourism over these years has also undergone kind of change. Tourism today is no more about going and seeing places. Tourism is more about experience, which actually puts a lot of weight behind activity based tourism, adventure tourism being one of them. So, of late we have started attracting a lot of adventure tourism. When he says that we are getting a lot of tourists from Malaysia and Singapore and Southeast Asian countries, we have a lot of these tourists who are coming to India for adventure tourism. Another thing which is kind of a unique product for us is our spirituality, is our connect with wellness. And India, particularly last few years, has been particularly successful in creating a brand association between yoga and Indian tourism, spiritualism and Indian tourism, wellness, alternative therapies and Indian tourism, and that has given a lot of boost to Indian tourism.
To conclude this session, it seems that Indian government and India per se as a country is doing a lot and attracting a lot of international tourists from all over the world. We thank you, sir, for being with us today, for sparing your time with us. We hope that you gain some knowledge, some wisdom, and hope to continue and to share more wisdom with you in the coming sessions. Thank you.